Hello, and welcome to Atomic Radio Hour, the show that dives into the wreckage that is post-apocalyptia, the post-nuclear podcast. I am your host, Vince, and I'm joined by two very special people today. The first one being
your cookie-eating host,
Quagmire,
and our special guest of the week. Sir, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Jeffrey A. Garcia.
Hello to both of you.
Hello.
Howdy.
Jeff here is a filmmaker and who has made some films that I have just absolutely loved, and I wanted to talk to you. Like there's no other excuse. I just wanted to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's too bad I almost went to that festival.
Did you really?
Yeah, because I went there twice before, and this year I just couldn't make it.
Oh wow! I saw with a friend of mine, Steven, and I've been there the year before, and when I remember last year they had people come up and the directors talk about their films, and I looked at Steven and I was like, if the man who made Radio Candy is here, I need to shake his hand. I have like 15 questions here that I'm just going to hit you rapid fire just to kind of get you introduced to everybody. Are you cool with that?
Yeah, for sure. Right on.
All right. Your name?
Jeffrey Garcia.
Your age?
25.
Your shoe size?
11.
Your top 5 albums of all time?
Weezer's Blue Album, Marcy Playground's self-titled album. That's 2. Daniel Johnston's Artistic Vice. That's 3. Ariel Pink's House Arrest. Ween's Quebec. And I should throw some hip hop in there. Let's see. You know what? Actually, when I was in middle school, I was pretty obsessed with Demon Days, so I'll just throw Demon Days in there.
Okay. Top 5 movies?
2001: A Space Odyssey, Dumb and Dumber, Mr. Lonely, The Master, and a tie between Blue Velvet and The Brown Bunny.
Your favorite cereal?
Captain Crunch Berries.
Hell yeah.
That's a good choice.
What's a movie that you sat through that you absolutely hated? Every second of it.
The Hobbit Part 3.
They made 3 of them?
Yeah, they split. It's a pretty short book, and they split into 3 movies. And I believe the third one had parts of like the Silmarillion. I can't even pronounce the name. Some other Tolkien book.
Oh,
and, it's just really silly. I think it's called Battle of the 5 Armies or something like that.
Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Snorlax.
Hell yeah. Your favorite director?
Kubrick.
Stanley. Your first or earliest memory?
Watching the Little Mermaid animated series on my parents' couch, wearing sweatpants.
Favorite color?
Blue. Wait, yeah, blue. Like baby blue.
Do you have any heroes?
John Crickfalusi.
Hell yeah.
Fuck. I have a ton, but yeah, let's just go with that one.
Okay. Did you see all the stuff about him recently?
Yeah.
He's a nut. My God, is he an artist, but is he a nut? Do you aspire to be like John Kay at all?
Oh, I feel like John Kay sometimes. I mean, not about, that in particular, but yeah, I resonate with him. I see interviews with him and his style, and it's like, yeah, that's, man.
That's very John Kay of him.
It's very John Kay.
Why don't they ever want to talk about it?
Who?
They.
They? Talk about John Kay?
No, just why don't they ever want to talk about it?
Just about it.
Like parentheses they, or
just anybody. Why don't they want to talk about it?
I don't know. It could be a conspiracy.
What kind of car do you drive?
2008 Chrysler Sebring.
What's the meaning of life?
Forgive and forget.
What did your grandmother's house smell like?
Uh, fried rice.
Cool.
Love that.
So,
I feel like I know you already.
hey guys, Vince here. Just want to say that we're about to go really in depth with Jeff's movies, both Whimsy and Hester and Radio Candy. So it might be a little pertinent if you watch the films before we discuss them. If you want, you can find them on Jeff's website, which is jeffreygarciaartist.com. There's links to everything there. There's links to his DVD, which you can buy, which I own, which there'll be a picture of later on in the episode, so you can see it for yourself. And I'd like to thank him again for coming on the show. It was great to have him on. It was a great interview. It was a great just time of us hanging out. So, yeah, we'll jump right back into the episode and enjoy. All right, bye. How, just to get right into the whole discussion of your work, what was the first moment you were just like I'm going to become a filmmaker? Like, I want to share a message with somebody.
Well, I'd always wanted to be an animator. That was originally my main goal when I was like 3 years old. I wanted to make cartoons and movies. But what really kind of like pushed me was I was about 11 or 12, and I watched a little known film called The Kentucky Fried Movie, which came out about 1977, which was written by the guys who wrote Airplane, directed by John Landis, who didn't write Airplane. The guys who wrote Airplane was Jerry David Zucker, Jim Abrams. John Landis directed The Blues Brothers, An American Werewolf in Paris, The Stupid, starring Tom Arnold, which is fantastic, by the way. And that was a sketch comedy film. And that film was like, okay, now I want to make movies. This is what I want to do. So this was, when I was about 12. And so I wrote a sketch comedy film called Your Mom, the Movie. And I tried recruiting classmates to be in it. And I just never could. I didn't even have a camera at the time. I don't know. I just got so inspired. But yeah, that was my first big moment of, yes, filmmaking. That's my life now.
And did you go to school for it?
No, not at all. I just eventually, when I was about 10 years ago, I got a camera, got a camcorder, and then I just kept shooting every single day, every single weekend, nonstop, and just kind of learned from just watching a shitload of movies and just filming as much as I can of all different types of styles, mostly comedy or some sort of experimental dramas. And I don't really like to. I mean, originally I did want to go to film school, but towards the end of high school, I was like, fuck this, I don't want to do that. I'm just gonna keep making shit. And I mean, I tried reading books about making films, and I don't really like people telling me how to do things. It kind of bugs me. So yeah.
What do you film on exactly? Because when I was watching Radio Candy in the theater, I knew it. Is it digital? It can't be digital.
Yeah, it's digital. It's on a DSLR.
Really? Are all your films digital?
Yeah, they're all shot on Canons.
Oh, okay. Well, you do a hell of a job making it not look like it's digital.
Oh, thank you. I really, man, seeing my films at that big ass theater in your hometown is pretty gnarly. And man, I would have loved to see Radio Candy blown up to that size, because I bet it looked really good on there.
It did, and it was when I saw it with my buddy Steven, and there was a movie before it that was really good, and it didn't really, like, I thought it had like a cop-out ending. It was about a man with a foot fetish, and then like at the end the foot fetish was a metaphor for cannibalism, but like never in the movie do they ever refer, like he's never like, I crave flesh, or even alludes to it. It's literally the last 10 seconds he bites a woman's foot off. And then your movie comes on, and I was already like, okay, yeah, these are like these movies that are they're made with like a very small budget, or they're made with like the director, the writer, and his friends, or something. And then your movie came on, and at first it's just a picture of Adam and a gun, and I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be like Tim and Eric. And then I was like, oh, this is much better than that.
Well, thank you.
Oh, you're very much welcome. I absolutely there's my favorite part of the whole movie, and it's what got me totally off guard, is when Jimmy goes for the job interview at the party, and Eric's like, "Hey, sorry I couldn't get to the job." He's like, it's all right. I don't think I'd really fit in here. And he points over at the KKK guy. I shit you not, laugh for 5 minutes straight. I don't know like what happened after like the first time I saw it, because I thought it was just so. And like the whole time I'm sitting there watching the movie, I'm saying to my friend Steven, who like we used to shoot shit in high school for either school projects or just because we were bored. I was like, dude, this feels like something that we would have made. Like it felt real, like it felt authentic.
Once I kind of started to get the vibe of the movie, I kind of started thinking to myself, how can this movie shock me more? Or like what can it do next to just surprise me?
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you felt that. It's always a nice feeling to watch a film that resonates with you and feels like something you could make. That's always an inspiring moment. But yeah, you were saying something about shocking you.
No, that was like my complete thought.
Oh,
well, that actually. Sorry.
Oh no, go on.
I was gonna say I have a question here written down for you. Is anything really truly too offensive? Like, could you really push the envelope so far? Because like, there's a scene where they jerk off on Grandma. Like,
yeah.
Like, is there really anything that's too offensive?
I mean, I guess if you strung in like obvious political shit, I mean, especially nowadays, I mean, just existing can be offensive. And I guess, I mean, if you take this back to like the 60s or 70s, I could probably list a couple things. But at the same time, you know, a lot of underground comics from that era definitely pushed some boundaries. I don't know if y'all ever read Robert Crumb.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there that is just out in the open, even on their like front covers, that just would not fly, at least in 2019. But yeah, I don't know. Like I was really trying to push a lot of shocking stuff in Radio Candy. Like originally, I was gonna have a man like legit squeeze milk out of his asshole at one point, which would have been perfect. But you know, unfortunately, I could not find an actor to pull that off.
I love that that's the bottleneck. Like, man, if only we could find an actor to do it right. Like,
I mean, I found someone to whip their junk out. I mean, it's not too much of a stretch, but unfortunately, it was a stretch.
So for everyone at home that's listening to this, and they're completely lost at what we're talking about, I'm going to put a link in the description to your Vimeo so they can see all of your films. Also, go to the man's website. It's just jeffreygarciaartist.com, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Go there. There's everything there. Buy his DVD. It's awesome. It has the 2 films that he's made. That the first one, Whimsy and Hester, has won awards. The second one, I thought this year got snubbed. It totally should have won. And it's got a bunch of other short films on it. So there's a link. Declan, when you edit the video, put a picture of the DVD on it.
Sure.
Go check out all of his films, because we're going to, I guess, talk extensively about them at this point, and I should have said this earlier, and I apologize. But when you came up with the idea for Radio Candy, I had read somewhere else that you wanted Jimmy and Adam's story to be separate originally.
Yeah, that was there was 2 separate movies. One was a romance, obviously, with Jimmy, and the other one was just a crazy. I mean, they're both comedies, but one of them was just going to be balls out wild. And well, I became very impatient with what to start first. I was like, I really like this. I really want to work on this, but I'm so inspired to work on that. And I just kind of mushed them together. So that's why it kind of has an odd pacing at some parts, or at least in my opinion. But
so where did the main idea then come from for Adam's story?
Man, I'm not entirely sure. I love the idea of. I love wheelchairs. I love people in wheelchairs. I think it's just hilarious. I love Boy Scouts. They look really cool. And what about a shotgun wielding Boy Scout? His grandma who's in a wheelchair. I think that looked nice. I think just seeing that in my head just made me really want to shoot that. And fuck, I don't even remember what exactly came about or to inspire. Like I don't remember seeing anything that just made me go, "Oh, this." Yeah, apologies for burping. I have acid reflux.
You're
No,
good.
no problem.
Was there did you want to make a statement about religion at all when you made this film?
No, that just kind of came about, which is pretty funny. I'm actually a good old Catholic boy, which doesn't necessarily mean I can't, have my criticisms or thoughts. I did want to do a thing about cults, and
Okay.
I did want to be a bit ambiguous when it came to politics because it isn't very political, but in my head it'll probably be the most uh, of that type. It'll be the most like social commentary, if even there is any. I really don't think anyone can see any of it, but there kind of is in there. But yeah, it's I don't know. I didn't set out to make fun of religion. I just really wanted to have a character that's just brainwashed into the point of violence, which in a way is kind of going on now. I mean, which with all these terrorist attacks and school shootings and radical groups and whatnot going out in the streets and shit. But yeah, at least for his story, not with Jimmy, obviously.
Well, I actually have a question about Jimmy's story.
Yeah.
Do you have something against Justin in some way? Because
Justin,
Last name Muddy.
yeah,
oh, I love Conway. He's like my big brother. But
really.
yeah.
Because I was watching the show, the Jeffrey Garcia show on YouTube, and I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm going, I think that's Jimmy, and then he ends up in jail, and then in this movie he ends up in jail.
Jimmy ends up in jail. In what episode was that?
I think it's season. He winds up. No, I think it's season 2 because you quit, and then the other guy takes over, and then he kills the guy, and then he's in jail.
Oh,
Is that not the same guy? I thought it was the same guy.
no. That was my first time working with Justin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, I was watching it going, holy shit, he put him in jail twice.
Oh, no, not at all. I thought you were referring to other like scenes in the film, but
Oh no. Did you when Grandpa Joe when Grandpa Joe kills himself? Susie's first words are, "How am I going to pay for the funeral?" Were you trying to say something about like Medicare being too expensive at all? I feel like I might have looked a little too deep into this.
no, I love your interpretation. It's nice. Just anyone's interpretation. Like David Lynch says, he'll never explain his movies because he feels like it cheapens the experience.
Should I stop asking?
No. This is actually quite. It's in a lot of ways. It's very fun for me to hear it because a lot of times it hits a nail on the head. Sometimes it doesn't, but it offers a unique perspective that I could use in the future. As far as what am I saying, and what I should be doing, and how responsible am I with certain imagery or language. But I mean, she's poor. I mean, the grandpa, it's just the good old Southern. I mean, funerals are pretty damn expensive. So, I mean, it wasn't necessarily comment on Medicaid or Medicare or any of those type of systems.
Okay,
But, I mean,
so go on.
yeah, go on. Sorry.
I saw that, and if I believe correctly, if I'm right, Grandpa Joe and Addict Ted are the same guy, right?
Yeah. How do you know about Addict Ted?
Because when I find something I like, I learn everything about it, and I
Oh.
very much enjoy your work.
Thank you. That's very Nardwuar of you.
Oh, thanks. Oh my god, that's a huge compliment. Thank you. But does Grandpa Joe and Eric have the same Calvin and Hobbes tattoo?
I don't think they have the same one, but
Okay, because when I saw him when he first gets introduced, I saw he had a tattoo on his arm, and I saw that Eric at the party has a tattoo on his chest, and I didn't know if it was the same thing, and if you were trying to link them in some way, or if it just happened to be a coincidence.
It's just because it's a coincidence. I mean, I live in a hippie town, and everyone just has tattoos everywhere. So it's like, unless I specifically have a character that has no tattoos, like Adam actually, the actor who plays Adam, Nix or Matthew, he has a bunch of tattoos, and we had to get so we had to have makeup applied to him every day of shooting, cover up all of his arm tattoos. So yeah,
I know he has the big one on his back because of Whimsy and Hester.
Yeah, yeah, he does. That's also part of the reason why I cast him in that film.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, I want a greaser daddy bad boy. Oh, you have a bunch of tattoos.
Now, is Rebecca your girlfriend?
Yeah, Becca's my girlfriend.
Dude, she's a fucking champion.
Yeah, I mean, well, we met on Whimsy and Hester, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't like I was already. Yeah, I'm not like Judd Apatow where I like to see my wife make out with other people or anything.
See, I just assumed that like you guys were already together, and I was like, he's letting this little scrawny dude make out with his girlfriend. Like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, well, also he's gay, by the way. So I mean,
oh, is he really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
oh,
Adam.
Cool.
Yeah, Adam slash. God, I forgot his character in Whimsy and Hester.
Fucking Johnny Cakes.
Yeah, Johnny Cakes.
And I really like how in Radio Candy you link the two of them together. You link the two movies together.
Yeah, same universe.
Yeah, I love that shit. I love that like Kevin Smith ass, like we all exist in the same universe, Tarantino ass shit.
Thank you. Yeah. Kevin Smith's View Askew universe is what kind of inspired me to do that.
Really?
Glad you said that instead of like the MCU or anything.
Oh no.
I think the difference there is that the MCU is very explicit in that, where with something like Kevin Smith or Tarantino, it's a little bit more lightly hinted at.
Yeah, it's more like a Easter egg or like a type of nugget. Yeah, I've always liked that.
Yeah.
How hard was it to shoot the 12-year-old sex slave scene?
Well, the actor for that was of legal age. But surprisingly, that fucking tree is very tall. I got a wide shot of him on the tree, but I ended up not using it. Luckily, he was climbing trees for a living, so he did it barefoot and just went up there. And I was a little worried of him falling down. And originally, we were going to do that scene in a public park, but considering his outfit, we didn't want any children to be walking by and have some crazy shit happen. So
I say that'd be a pretty good
area
call.
The riverbank.
I love the he goes, take my hand. With the power of Christ, anything is possible. That's fucking, like I said, it just felt like something like a lot of these jokes that are in the movie, I was sitting there watching them going like, these are jokes I would have made. Like, and it was like in a weird way validating.
Yeah.
Cause like you think you're funny, but you don't know if anybody else does. And I was like, oh my God, this is my fucking brand.
Well, yeah. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, they had this quote that's always stuck with me. It's like, don't think about what other people think is funny. Just do what you think is funny, and eventually someone will catch on. And, well, obviously that happened today because we're talking. And I'm glad for that. Yeah.
Why do they jerk off on Grandma?
Because they're bad boys, dude. They'll steal your girl, they'll jack off on your grandma, they'll flick cigarettes at you, they'll do all sorts of crazy shit. They're like the T-Birds from Greece, only naughtier.
How did you get, speaking of grandma though, how did you get introduced to motherfucking Kenny Casanova?
It's
Kenny. The same dude, right? It's the same dude from Pantheon, right?
Yeah. Okay, Did y'all know Pantheon before watching my films, or was it?
No. I went on your website and I clicked on music videos and I saw Addict Ted and I saw Pantheon, and Pantheon stuck out to me probably the most out of all of the music videos. And I watched Henny Dreams and I was like, oh wow, this is all like Tarantino and Scarface and shit. And that's just become like a song in my rotation now.
Well, that's good, man. Yeah, they've been blowing up. They went on tour with like Vince Staples and
really.
Yeah, and they're at some festival with like Tyler the Creator and shit. Like they're getting pretty out there.
Flognaw?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah, man.
Wow, good
Out
for
in like
them.
Miami or somewhere. But I met Kenny actually through work because I work at a cafe, and about 2 years ago we would work several shifts together, and he knew I did videos, and I knew he did raps, and so just kind of linked up. Actually, his character Ken motherfucking Asbies, it's actually his creation.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, because we've used that character before for a GoFundMe ad for Whimsy and Hester, where he's like the host of the ad. And
Oh, cool.
originally in Radio Candy, Ken Asbies wasn't supposed to be in it. It was actually going to be Abe Lincoln, but the actor to play Abe Lincoln went missing in action. So I called up my boy Ken, and we did a scene.
That scene where he looks at the camera is like, "Sup?" My buddy Steven, who I saw the movie with, he told me that was his favorite scene. He's like, it totally caught me off guard. He goes, you see this like white bread ass family, and then all of a sudden, this
Oh
dude
yeah,
just pops up.
yeah, I love that part. Yeah, there's supposed to be another scene with him and Grandma that would have just fucking been the icing on the cake, but filming and getting people scheduled or coordinated is really hard. So we
Now,
just went with the mom just fingering her mouth instead.
wait, what? What scene?
Well, there's a scene where Adam is like listening in because he's like trying to talk to his mom, and she's like shirtless, and she's just like, "Oh, Ken," and she's like, at the very last second.
Oh. I'm sorry. I was thinking about I thought you were saying the end scene, and I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh no, no,
Um,
no, not the end scene.
so grandma, like, how was her head already shaved, or did you like, I need you to shave your head?
Her head was already shaved,
Okay.
and which is what made me want to film her in there. I mean, she's great. She's great. Shauna,
Last name Mumdy.
the actress, fantastic. Her head was shaved. I had asked her to be in my movie because I liked her bald head, and
Was that the exact wording?
I like
bald
that.
head. I'll be in my movie.
But she initially wanted to grow her hair back out because my films usually or typically don't take that long to film, like maybe like a month. But Radio Candy took almost 6 months. So
Oh, wow.
it got towards the end. I mean, she's a trooper. She kept, having to shave her head every other week, and in order to complete the role. So kudos to her.
Definitely thought that she was a very interesting character, even though she had no like speaking lines.
Yeah, well, her face is very like it speaks for like itself. It's
absolutely.
almost like its own character. Very like piercing.
Yeah, like that piercing stare.
Yeah, very lobotomized. The occasional shriek.
Now that you said about how long the movie took, I can kind of assume why Octavio Jones changes from a black man to a white man.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's also for comedic effect. I mean, a lot of the spoof movies like Airplane or Naked Gun or like Epic Movie, if you want to get real lowbrow, they like to do the body change thing a lot, and I find that completely hilarious. So, one, yeah, we're strapped for time, and two, it just it'll work.
Do you think the movie, in some way, is about being forced to grow up? Because in a way, I kind of took that because when Jimmy's saying to Adam, he's like, "Oh, you still live here with Grandma Janie?" And he's like, "Yeah, I got to take care of her, but my mom's just kind of on welfare and doesn't do anything." And then it shows him like at the dojo learning how to shoot and kick ass.
Yeah, well, there's definitely some sort of like I guess some people would call it conservative values, but definitely like a grab life by the bootstraps, grow up, be a man, fight back, be confident, don't cower in fear, and just let people walk all over you. That's the kind of thing that Adam experiences in the film. So yeah, you're kind of on the money there.
Okay. The chicken by the dumpster scene, which is an activity that I hope that I can make a usual part of my everyday. Was that redubbed?
Yeah, there's some ADR throughout the movie.
I wasn't sure if I was just seeing it wrong or if like maybe the playback was off. Because I know it's at the end of Whimsy and Hester as well.
Yeah. I'm not the best at synchronizing audio and image, but yeah.
So do you edit or does someone else edit?
I edit, but I go by a pseudonym under Albert Rover.
I see. Is there a reason for
Yeah.
that?
I'm insecure about my editing skills.
Really?
That's fair.
Yeah. Also, Coen Brothers use a pseudonym for their movies. Roderick James.
Do they really?
So, yeah. They both edit all their movies, but they just have a, fake name.
Grace,
Last name Mubdi.
I have to say, absolutely every time she's on screen, I'm never disappointed. The mom in Whimsy and Hester is my second favorite character in that movie.
Who's your first?
Heidi.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll tell Heidi that. Yeah, dude, Grace is I love. She's the only actor that has actually like acted
Mhm.
like on a bigger scale, because like all of the actors in my films are just friends or coworkers or. But she's actually been in like theater and like indie movies and all sorts of
cool.
crap, and so yeah, she really fucking knocked it out of the park every time. I love Margie. That's probably my favorite character I've ever had
Really?
or like made or whatever. Just like she took what I wrote and completely gave it life, which I really love.
Did I miss something with the glasses?
Uh, so in that scene, we're implying that the father may have struck the mom and broke the glasses.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if like something I just missed something because it goes from them talking in bed and then it's them at school
Yeah.
and then okay, because I didn't see if there was like a bruise around her or anything.
No, so that was pretty last minute. The glasses she had broke, and they were one of a kind. I mean, we couldn't really. We were on a tight schedule, so we couldn't really order any or get anything that looked just like it, and so yeah, we just improvised.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, just be cockeyed; it'll be funny.
Probably the most important question I have to ask you: who the fuck is Boots? Because when I was sitting there watching the credits for Radio Candy, sorry to jump back and forth from movie to movie.
Oh
but
no, it's totally okay.
When I'm sitting there watching the credits for Radio Candy, I'm reading all the people's names, and I'm like, oh, there's the same name twice. Like Trevor. Trevor's a fucking treat. Oh my god! Anytime, I loved him too. But like, I'm sitting there, and it just says "Masked Woman #2, Boots." I'm like, who the fuck is Boots?
Boots is some lady in town. That
I mean, you don't have to
played
tell me
one
her
of the
name. Yeah.
Well, that's her name. Or I mean, that's how I was introduced to her. That was my first time meeting her. Was that shoot? And she's like,
shit,
my name's
shit.
Boots. I'm like, okay, cool.
Sorry, hold on, my chair collapsed. All right, I'm good. Sorry.
Yeah. So, believe it or not, Grandma Janie plays Masked Woman #1. I don't know if you could tell or not.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that.
I did not. That's awesome. I got to go back and watch it again. Who drew the hentai squid?
Oh,
Becca.
man.
Really?
Yeah, Becca's an artist.
That's probably my
Did
favorite
she-
scene.
Really?
It's like, could you describe what that is? Well, that's a woman. Like, I thought that was so funny.
I love, and even what's so funny about that scene is when I saw it, my buddy Steven, he's like, there's cum coming out of everywhere. And he's like, actually, that's tears. Or maybe I flipped that. Steven said, how do you know it's not tears? Or how do you know it's not cum? Or whatever. Oh, who's the photo of the Marine?
That's just one of my high school friends.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's just it's supposed to be the dad, but it's also
No, I
kind of an
know.
inside joke.
Okay. So your whole town is a bunch of like hippie, like would you say it's like Texas's version of Portland?
Well, I've never been to Portland, but I would assume Austin would be more of the Portland, although
Okay.
Austin has been pretty yuppified lately. San Marcos is the more authentic Austin. It's definitely just a lot of burnouts, hippies, art freaks, rednecks, just pretty much a melting pot of everyone, but everyone there is just super open to just act crazy in my movies, which is really bizarre. So yeah, it's like a playground, man. Like everyone's
That's awesome.
like cool with me, like shooting in their restaurants and or locations and crap. It's like
In
kind
the
of
burrito place, like you were just like, I want to film here. Did you pay them? Did they just allow you to do it? Like,
that's where I work.
really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so I just asked my
cool.
boss if that was okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I love the chick behind the counter because she has
Yes.
no
It's
clue
like,
It
what's
doesn't
going on. There's a
yeah, that's
scene.
Adria.
She's awesome. There's a scene where there's just like a pause. She's like, I can't open it. I can't open it. Like it's so and like that's like I think my favorite thing about you whether it's the films or the shorts or like what the hell is it? I was watching it last night. The Mysteries of the Universe. Like it's
Mhm.
just so genuine. Like it's just so real. Like it has that charm of like digging through home movies.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I cannot like I almost didn't go to the film festival and we went like last minute and I'm so happy that we did.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I'm really glad you did, man. It's always like I was not because like, it was a shame I didn't get to go, but because I was like, oh, I won't get anyone's like feedback, but I'm glad you reached out. And I mean, this is
Awesome.
really cool, And you dug deep, which is nice because some people they're just like, oh, you do movies, oh, that was funny, and that's it. But you were like, well, what about this scene and whose boots and who's that? And I'm like, oh, cool, this guy was really into it, It's like,
Well, I just I don't know, dude. It's just something about it is so. I think what I like about a lot of artwork is the authenticity of it. I won't
Oh,
listen
yeah.
to a song if it sounds like a product.
yeah,
I don't watch a lot of movies that come out because I know that they're just made to be products. And this seems like something that you genuinely cared a lot about and worked very obviously very hard on. And I really love it. Like I love it as like just a body of work.
thank you, yeah. I mean, it's what wakes me up in the morning, is just making movies. It's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I something I have written down in my notes here that I loved about it was at the birthday party of Whimsy and Hester, when the dog's barking in the background is something
Yeah,
so stupid, but it's like, oh, that reminds me of being a kid and being in town and like listening to being at a friend's house and one dog starts barking and the whole neighborhood blows up. Like there's I have written down here if I can find it. I don't know where it is. I guess maybe I didn't write it down. Heidi just reminded me so much. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it reminded me so much of being a child. Her scenes when she's showing them porn in the beginning, like
yeah.
it's like that one friend you go over his house and he's like, "Look at the dirty mags I stole from my brother," and then like even whatever song you paired it up with, where they're like, can Dean have sex with us? And they're like, nah, Dean's gay. He's not going to do it. And she's smoking like that whole scene. And I don't know if it's maybe that because you shot her from like below. So it's more of like a look up at her. Uh, it always made her feel like she's older, like she had more of an influence. And of course she had more of an influence on the two of them because that's her only friend, really. Their only friend. But I don't know, just something about it. I was very much like, oh my God, I'm a little kid again, and these are the older kids down the street.
I've got a
Yeah,
question.
that's
What's
uh-huh.
up?
So, how did you arrive at the name Radio Candy?
A few years ago, I was at a CC's Pizza, and I started thinking about movie titles, and I just saved them on my old phone, and I found them in an old email. Because Radio Candy had different titles going for it, and
What are
I
some of
just
the others?
for the longest time, well, for if it was going to be split into two movies, Jimmy's would have been Falling for You, which was like a
Okay.
typical romance name, but the movie itself is all wacky. And Adam's Part, which would have been, even if it was combined with Jimmy, it still would have been And the Sky Keeps Falling, which is a little pretentious, but I definitely wanted to do a movie where it's just chaos and everything's kind of, the sky's falling, the world's ending.
I like that a
Mhm.
lot.
Thanks. It was going to be the tagline, but I just kind of left it alone.
Cool.
How did, speaking of titles and everything, how did you come to the idea of a conjoined twins that want to lose their virginity before prom night? Where does that like how do you think of conjoined twins?
Well, I did want to spoof the teens losing their virginity sex comedy genre, like American Pie and Superbad. So I just kind of flipped the genders a bit. But as far as conjoined twins are concerned, I was driving in the back seat of my friend's car in Alabama, and I was looking at Yahoo News, and one of their top articles was about worst picked baby names, like the least popular baby names, and one of them was Whimsy, and one of them was Hester, and that really
Just stuck with you.
Stood out.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, sisters, that'll be cool. And then I was like, wait, and then just boom, they're morphed. They're conjoined, and yeah. I just immediately got this vision of two nightgown wearing twins, having a birthday party, and that's what set it off.
How did you film the end scene with them?
Because
you obviously didn't put them down the river.
No.
Yeah, so like...
And I haven't even seen Whimsy and Hester yet, so like a lot of this is just like really funny to talk about. I'm just like, what is happening with this movie?
Well, then wait till you hear my next question.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah, we had a raft. My friend Furley, who plays the dad, he built a raft. We had a bunch of cardboard boxes. And
wait, that's Furley World?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay, cool. Sorry, go on.
So he built a raft, and we threw some cardboard boxes on top of it, and then we threw a tarp over it, and we were planning on setting it on fire. And so we got it down to the river, and we had gasoline, and it just spilled all over Furley, all over the river. It was getting to where it was getting kind of dangerous, and all of my actors were in the river too because they were trying to save the raft. And I was like, God damn it. Everyone's probably going to get lit on fire if we really do this. And we just kind of let it float away. And luckily, I grabbed my camera and just filmed it floating.
I like it. I like the end scene a lot. I think it's very artistic. I don't know if that makes it sound like I'm calling you pretentious, because I'm not. I really like the shooting of it. I like how you see it in one spot and then it kind of, you just see it in another. I really enjoy the ending of it. I like the music. That I have the things I like about Radio Candy and the things I like about Whimsy and Hester are vastly different. I think the music in both of them are great. I just think the music in Whimsy and Hester is a little like tighter, like it kind of flows better with the movie, because Radio Candy might have, and you said it's a little different in its pacing. But I feel like the song, like I said before, the song that Heidi is when she's speaking at the park that they play, and even when they're going over the Bible study and going over like Jewish propaganda, and like the way that everything is layered and noisy on top of each other, like all of that shit is awesome. And I love that, like, fucking with you, just like, this is going to be loud and abrasive, and fuck you if you don't hear it the first time. Like, I really do you think when you make something you kind of go into it with like the idea of like, fuck you, figure it out, or kind of like a, I don't want to say like a fuck you attitude, but kind of like a fuck you attitude?
Yeah, it's always me pointing the finger or just fucking with people. Yeah, that was Mein Kampf that they were reading out of, and direct quotes. So I figured I'd give it a more ominous, disturbing sound and just a lot of reverb and shit like that.
I haven't read the book. Who's the author?
I think it was Dean Koontz, I believe.
No, I was the first time I was hearing them say it, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Then I watched it again. That's really fucking funny.
Thank you.
So I have to ask, do you pay the actors in your film, or is it just like, I'll buy you lunch because you got someone to pee on somebody, and you showed it? So I have to assume that you gave the guy a little bit more than just lunch for that part. Is that Furley? Like, is that his?
No, that's the stunt cock for. He's my
Like,
friend
for what?
Danny. Actually, believe it or not, what's really funny is the guy who jerks off on Grandma is the guy who is the stunt guy who pees on the girls in Whimsy and Hester.
Oh my god.
But we used a stunt cock for the Grandma scene, so
Oh yeah.
and we used someone else who remains anonymous. But
By
you know.
stunt cock, you mean just a person with their pee out, not
Exactly.
like a plastic like tube or anything.
No, yeah, a person with their pee out.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can see how that can be confusing.
That's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful.
I learned something
Thank
new
you.
today.
Let me see if I have anything else written down before I ask you some other questions. For your musical inspiration, do you just you pick? Obviously you pick what's near you, but do you think like this is what I like? It's gonna because in the car with Jimmy and Susan, you play I believe Gigi Allen, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Was that just because like, oh, this will be funny because it's a crippled woman and a guy who looks kind of like, or you just is that I'm not familiar with his works other than he gets on stage and throws shit at people.
Yeah. Go on.
No, I mean that's really
Yeah. It was just a gag. Like it, you know, she's very sweet and she's crippled, and her recognizing a Gigi song just makes me laugh. So.
How did you get introduced to Gigi Allen?
I saw his funeral tape a couple years ago on YouTube, and it was very disturbing. And then I just kind of looked into whatever else he had. That's actually one of his more popular songs. I was gonna pick a deep cut, but you know, it's whatever.
Do you have to pay for the rights to the music?
Hell no, dude! I'm a renegade, man. Outlaw of the South.
Cool.
No, yeah. Like technically, my DVD that I'm selling is illegal if you really think about it, because it's shitload
awesome.
of yeah.
I got signed contraband. Hell yeah. Because I was gonna ask, the song you use where Adam and Trevor are they're together in his room, and then they walk in on Grandma just shitting herself, and then Trevor throws up. That's the song. I can't think. It's either Spindle Legs. It's from Ren and Stimpy. Like that's where I know it from originally.
Exactly. Yeah, I used a lot of TV music in Radio Candy, TV music and mall music.
Really?
Yeah, because they're kind of public domain in a way, but there's a novelty to it. And I remember I really wanted for Radio Candy to have a TV soundtrack. I mean, not like theme songs, but you know those usual, like you know, like It's Always Sunny. They have those like same four
the
songs.
Intro. Yeah. No, that's really cool because when the movie started, when Radio Candy started, I was like, I love this. I love every second of it. And then that song came on, and Declan could testify. I'll just listen to that shit. Like I'll just put on the Ren. I'll look up like Ren and Stimpy music playlist on YouTube and just let it go. There's something about it that I love. And
Ren and Stimpy definitely had an influence on that as far as the soundtrack's concerned. I mean, you could probably point to other elements, but I think the track is called A Midsummer Night's Dream, whatever. But it's used in the Ken Asby scene when you first meet him, and that music is also used in Ren and Stimpy when you first meet the Tooth Fairy, who is just like that naked old man with a chicken wing on his head. That's what I kept thinking about when I heard that song.
That show is so ahead of its time.
Yeah, it's it's brilliant. It's that and Ed, Edd and Eddie are my favorite cartoons.
Really?
Yeah, just
Ed, Edd and Eddie's great.
Yeah. Yeah, the creator of that, Danny Antonucci or whatever, he had another show on MTV called
Lupo?
Like
The Brothers Grunt.
Yes, the Brothers Grunt. That's I really like it actually.
Yeah?
I'm sorry?
You really like it?
Brothers Grunt?
Yeah.
I just mostly just because it's absurd and the artwork is really good. I mean, all they do is just go,
yeah,
because I like drawing that kind of shit. It's just like eyeballs popping out. I mean, I know it's not like a real show. It's just kind of whatever it is.
Like only a minute at a time or something?
I'm sorry?
Isn't it like a minute at a time or something?
what I've seen on YouTube is like it's very short, and then apparently there's like music videos in between. But I don't know. It's an odd. MTV really, since they were mostly played music videos back then. A lot of their shows had either like actual videos or used whatever soundtrack they or whatever music they had rights to. Like Daria has a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
Daria's good.
but the Daria DVD release, or at least the one I have, scrubbed all that music off. So now it's just kind of like whatever generic instrumentals.
Well, I was never a fan of Beavis and Butthead, but wasn't it like half the show was just them reacting? Didn't they kind of like predate YouTube reaction videos? In like a weird
definitely.
way?
I mean, a lot of stuff that I see on YouTube now, honestly, are just media in general. Like podcasting is essentially, talk radio, YouTube reaction videos, and like are pretty much like back in the days when there would be like horror movie hosts, like they would introduce like a bad horror movie and they'd have like a guy in makeup talking about it, like Sven Gulli or like Elvira, like I see a lot of YouTubers like that. And a lot of like VH1 countdown shows, like I see that all on YouTube with like either regular YouTube people or like Watch Mojo type shit, How
do you feel about Watch Mojo?
If I'm chilling at a friend's house and there's nothing to do, we'll just throw it on for background. I don't have much of an opinion. I don't see it as a great source of info. I think it's kind of cheesy, but
you're just kind of like junk food content.
Yes, definitely. Like the VH1 shows back in the day. I don't know if y'all.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I was gonna say even what predates the commentary like that is Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
Which I just thought of now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of people act like we're in this new era of content, which in a way we are. But I think mostly it's just size and distribution is what's the real thing, because we're pretty much just doing the same thing, just only with a different shade of gloss on it. I mean, I already listed a bunch of examples of that.
But did you hear that there's a bunch of true crime podcasts that big studios have bought in the rights to, and they're like scripted podcasts, they're now turning them into movies?
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, anything for $1, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, that's always been the key. I mean, that's why television in general isn't as respected of an art form as film, because it was essentially created just to sell products. I mean, why else would there be commercials? I mean, besides from trailers and stuff you see in the movie theater, a film is just a film. A TV show is just a padded down advertisement. I mean, I still like TV. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to bash on it too hard.
I hadn't really thought of it like that.
Kind of going back to your films a little bit.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to rant.
No, you're cool. It's fine. Out of I'm going to call it the Dream Atomic Camp, like your friends that you film with. Who's your favorite to film with? Who do you feel like kind of has the most chemistry or confidence or presence on screen when being filmed?
It's going to be kind of hard to answer because I know all of my Dream Atomic cast will more than likely listen to this, or at least some of them will.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I mean,
I think so. I love all of you. Thank you for your fantastic performances.
Oh, really stellar work, guys.
Sorry,
well,
go on.
I mean, Becca's a great help as far as assisting in production. Shouts out Beck. Furley, definitely a big time muse. Nick's
last name Muddy,
who plays Johnny Kicks and Adam, has been a current muse. That man is a Swiss Army man of talent, I tell you. Really? He does a lot of makeup. He'll provide some original music. He'll act. He'll do all sorts of crazy shit for me, and I love him, and he's great. Who else? Grace,
last name Muddy,
is fantastic, and I always feel like like she's in the wrong movie. I'm like, you should not be doing these crazy junk film fucking, poo-poo crap, like you should be doing like some art house shit, like this is like the wrong, like, what are you doing on set? Get out of here. But yeah, no, she's definitely has the most skills. And God, I'm trying to think. I know there's Brian.
Last name Mummity.
Oh,
The
my
mom.
buddy Brian. Okay, Brian. I'll go with Brian because he does not give a fuck and he'll just do anything because he's amazing. I love Brian. He plays the mom in Radio Candy. He plays
Yeah.
Dean. He's not really so much into my short films or in my short films. He's in like a lot of the like mini shorts, like a lot of like the 1 minute or 5 minute videos
Mm-hmm.
that he's in.
I really like Snowflake.
Sunflower?
So I'm sorry, Sunflower. The one that the movie opens up with, it's all black and white. It's you singing.
Yeah.
I really like that one. I remember the first time I put the DVD in my PlayStation, I put it in and I like went to the bathroom or did something and came back and it was just the screen that had Whimsy and Hester or Radio Candy. So the second time I put the DVD in to watch it again, I'm watching it going, when the fuck did this happen? And like, and I was mesmerized by it because I didn't know what was happening. And then you show up and you're like, I'm not just here for a little hanky panky. And then you're singing. And then she's complaining about food stamps. And I was like, what the fuck happened?
Thank you. Yeah, I really like Sunflower.
Yeah.
No one ever really talks about it.
Really?
Yeah.
I really liked it. It was just, I think I'm a sucker for black and white.
Oh yeah. I'm waiting for the day when I can make like a full-fledged like short film in black and white, like a proper
Just do
one.
it. What's stopping you?
Do it.
Well, every time I try to, it's like a weird hex on me. I think someone out there put a jinx to like every time I attempt to make a big movie in black and white, they're just like, nope, an actor will drop out or like something crazy will happen because trust me, I've had a bunch of other projects that either started out in black and white and just never finished, or like I just gave up and like redid it all in color. You know, it's kind of bizarre. It's weird.
Are you
But
currently
yeah.
working on a script right now?
So at the moment, man, Radio Candy was like the last big thing I made, and as far as big, I mean like like a film that's like over 20 minutes that's going to be in festivals and
Bigger
whatever.
than anything I've ever made, yeah.
I have scripts. I am in pre-production right now for another film that's going to be taking place in this universe, along with Radio Candy, Whimsy, and Hester.
Cool.
It's called Henrietta and Her Dismal Display of Affection.
Cool.
And I don't know if you remember this this dialogue, but when we first see Trevor, he talks about a man named Kevin McNeely that gets sucker punched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's about Kevin McNeely's family, or about Kevin McNeely's sister, but he co-stars in it. So,
Will there be a Puerto Rican child throwing a brick at Carmichael's head?
Yo, please.
I'll consider it.
Okay,
It's not in the
cool.
script, but that'd be pretty funny.
Who played Carmichael? Because that man, that and like on the back of the DVD is just his mug. I love it. I'm looking at the DVD right now. I absolutely loved him. He's like, "What up, nerd?" He's got done finger banging. I have her name written down, Melissa Appleby. And like, what's the deal with Melissa Appleby? Like, who was that?
Just your local horny sixth grader,
I feel like you're on a list
Yeah,
just for
Chris
saying
Morgan. Yeah, that was a coworker of mine.
Cool.
that. Cool.
Yeah, I'm just like, hey, can I film you? Getting crucified and whatever, wearing a bald cap. He's like, yeah. And,
Just another Tuesday,
yeah.
And like he kills Trevor. Like I love that. I fucking love when he kills Trevor. He's like, respect is earned. One of my favorite lines in the movie is, "Oh, nice shot, Trevor. Thanks. I'm watching a lot of Dennis Rodman videos." Like fucking when you sit down to write, like I hate people that just reference other interviews, but I read something that you had said that you'll sacrifice the scene for the gag as long as it's funny. When you're
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
when you're writing a script out, how deep into thought are you about, like, how is this going to look? Are you thinking about every aspect? Are you thinking about lighting? Are you thinking about location as you're writing it? Or are you just saying, fuck it, I'm going to write it and I'll make it work?
It's a little bit of both, to be
Okay.
honest. Yeah. I mean, I have a lot of like images in my head, and at the same time, I really wish I could have like a. I wish I could write without being budget conscious because
Mhm.
I would have so much other type of things going on. But I always have to think ahead. Like, could I really be able to film this type of dialogue at a certain place? You know, like, is it possible? Because um, will my actors be able to pull it off? Who can I? Because I just ask random people off the street, or people I know. Like,
Mhm.
I never have like a casting call of like people. Like I was saying, Grace was
Last name Muddy.
the only one that's had any experience really. Everyone else is just no. Everyone else is just like my friends. So or it's their first time. Yeah, I always have to think about that. I always have to cut lines out a lot of the time because like some actors have struggle going through it. Because I used to write like big monologues and stuff like that, and but yeah, um, kind of lost my train of thought.
No, you're
Yeah, no
good. You're
problem.
good.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you because you said that you used to write these big monologues. That was one of the few things that I did notice about both films, which I'm not gonna sit here and be like about it because I love both the films anyway. But you can tell, like, what's her name, Izzy, who
Yeah.
played Whimsy,
Women.
right?
Yeah. Mhm.
I could tell that like she was reading it very much off of a not off of the script. Like she did a great job, but it's not like I don't know. I don't want it to sound like I'm insulting her because I'm not. You know what I
No, you're
mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah, I mean, like it's mostly that was like her first time acting. Most of my actors, it's their first time, and some are a little more uh, skilled than others. But it works considering I'm doing like campy kish type humor. So
awesome. How many takes do you take of a scene? Usually,
uh,
like is it do you often take the first one and you're like, all right, let's go to the next one, or do you like to take the same one over and over again to try to get like a different feel?
I think I generally do about anywhere between 2 and 10 takes. I
Oh
don't do
wow.
just one unless it's like B-roll type stuff
Mm-hmm.
or like a quick action shot. Because I watched the movie Ed Wood a long time ago, and there's a part where they just do one take, and one of the cameraman's like, shouldn't we do another take, for protection? And then Ed Wood's like, no, it was fantastic. If he really did walk through that door, he would stumble just like that, and it looked real shitty. So I always kept that in mind. To always do a second take for protection and never just do one.
Cool.
I don't know if you've ever seen Ed Wood, but it's
No, I
fantastic.
haven't.
No, I haven't.
It's about Ed Wood, who's a real filmmaker who made Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Wait, made
It's
what from what?
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh,
which is-
okay.
Yeah, it's about him, starring Johnny Depp, directed by Tim Burton. Actually, really fantastic. Tim Burton's best movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's in black and white, so for the black and white connoisseurs, it'll be up your alley.
Yeah. It kind of
it's-
sounds like, and this is probably like an insult, but it kind of sounds like the Room movie.
Yeah. It's definitely pre-Room. This came out like in '94.
No, like the movie based on the Room.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about? Like, just, I mean, from the 13-second description you gave to me of the Ed Wood movie, it reminds me of the what the hell's it, Tommy Wiseau movie.
yeah, they're very similar. The Disaster
cool.
Artist.
Yes, that's it. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
think-
basically like a better Disaster Artist.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I like Disaster Artist, but Ed Wood knocks it out of the park.
Cool.
Keep using that expression. I apologize.
No, that's fine.
Oh yeah.
Declan, do you? I think I went through all my notes. I feel like I had so many more notes. Do you have
No,
anything
I,
you'd like to ask my friend?
I covered the questions that I wanted to cover, and I'm quite satisfied.
Let me just double check all my stuff. I just while we're here, I love don't thank me, thank the Boy Scouts of America. America, capitalist swine. That
I love
fucking
that.
killed me.
Thank you.
I want to look like Jimmy Sinclair. I just really want to look like him. I just love the look of like just this. I don't want to say like a dirty hippie, but a dude who's just balding and just doesn't care, and he's got a mustache and just wears a jumpsuit all the time. Like I just fucking something about that, and that's what I was getting at when I say the authentic shit. That's kind of like what I always pictured. I kind of thought my life was going to go in was like hanging out with my buddies and like smoking cigarettes by the highway and shit. And I don't know why, like in my mind, I was like, that's what's cool. That's what you should aspire to be. But like I'm watching this and I was like, these are fucking people I'd like to hang out with.
Yeah, man. A lot of them, end up becoming friends afterwards, because, yeah, they're just really easy to get along with. And they're all very unique and have very strange personalities. Like I said, or Justin
Last name Muddy.
is like definitely a big brother dude. Let's have some beers and hang out type of dude. And
That's awesome.
It's always nice to be around that, at least in my position.
I think I just have one more for you. When you wrote Susie, why a crippled woman with Tourette's?
Because it's comedy.
Was it you just wanted to you just thought it was funny? It wasn't you wanted a challenge just to. I mean, you gave it to probably the most skilled person.
Yes, that was intentional. I
Okay.
wanted to see what she could do. Like I wanted to see where I could go with her ability. So I tried to give her a most over the top character. I mean, one, I do think that kind of stuff's funny, but two, it was just like a challenge for her and for me to kind of direct someone, because like not only does she have Tourette's, but she also has an accent, and not only that, but she can only move certain parts of her body at the same time. So like her leg has a cast, she has a neck brace. She can only use like one arm, really, one leg, because she has a crutch on the other one.
Definitely a challenging position.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, I have her cast for the next movie, but it'll definitely be like the easiest role,
Really?
in the less extreme role for her. Unfortunately, but it's just kind of how it goes.
Do you have this might be inside baseball, but do you have like a date for like when the next one should be wrapping, hopefully?
Oh, well, we haven't begun shooting yet, so I have no clue, my friend.
Okay.
I was hoping to start shooting sometime this month, but I mean, I could possibly only do like one scene this month, only just because of other actors. Ooh, my voice cracked like I'm 12 years old. Yeah, I have no idea, man. Because Whimsy Nestor took about a month. Radio Candy took like 6 months. It just really all depends. Like I tried, at least for this new one, I tried toning down all the cameo appearances by other people. Or I don't know if I should say cameo, but all these like little side characters I had in Radio Candy ended up taking a lot of time to put together. There's definitely not as many players in this one.
I would say
it kind of depends.
Sorry?
I'm sorry. Oh, I just said it all kind of depends. This year, hopefully, I can just have it done by the summer, because I just really, when a production takes too long and becomes too winded, actors lose morale and I lose focus of what I was trying to do, and the rhythm just kind of is off when it becomes too long. So, yeah, I'm gonna do my best to keep nonstop and shooting and getting it out there.
Cool. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good, I think.
if it goes for the film festivals again, I can't wait to see it when it premieres. Because like we're looking at the what's it called? The come on, Declan, you hear me floundering?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
What's it called? Like the pamphlet, like the thing that says like, oh, these are all the movies tonight for the film festival. And I'm flipping through, and I see Radio Candy World Premiere. I'm like, world premiere, and then like I see that you tweeted out that it was making its debut into the film festival circuit with us, and I was like, oh my god, it was a world. I'm one of the first to see it outside of you.
Yeah, that was its
awesome,
festival debut.
I mean, you put it on your Vimeo, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's been on Vimeo, but I mean, as far as like publicly and, anywhere but Texas. Outside of Texas, you were the first people.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those
Your hometown.
peeps are real cool. Hopefully Henrietta will be there next year, and maybe I can finally attend again. 'Cause I was there the last 2 times, which, by the way, also won Best Grindhouse, Whimsy and Hester, and my
Yes.
other film, Terrence.
I have not seen Terrence.
Well, I have another DVD out, which features Terrence, Plush Bus, which also played at that festival, and another film called Lamb Chop, which has never been in a festival. And I mean, they're both online, but just
I
kind
have
of
to find them.
that's a different set of films. But yeah, man.
Is it like like your prequels, and then this is like your modern saga?
They're sort of like I was just throwing everything out there, and then these new ones, I'm like, okay, I'm really setting a tone, a style, a universe. So those other 3 are just their own separate films, like they're not connected or anything.
Cool.
And
Kinda
like
like an
one's
input.
really silly, the other one is a little more. I wouldn't say serious, but the other one's a little more down to earth, and then the other one is kind of like a mix of both. While Whimsy and Hester and Radio Candy are just kind of balls out crazy. So
Cool.
Cool.
I think that's. I know I'm gonna hang out with you and I'll instantly think of 14 more things to ask you. But would you like to plug yourself, sir?
yeah, go to my website, jeffreygarciaartist.com. Now, I would like to have changed it just Jeffrey Garcia, but the domain name's really fucking expensive, so I had to apply artist on there. So yeah, go to jeffreygarciaartist.com, buy every single thing I have on the merch, because that's badass, dude. And yeah, watch all of my films and let me know what you think. Also, kill Judd Apatow. Thank you.
Wait, I have one more thing to say, and it's
Go on.
that if you want to find our intro music by the good old Shane Ivers, it's called Feather Duster. You can find that in the description below. It'll take you to the website www.silvermansounds.com/free music/featherduster. But Vince, where can the fine folks at home find the show?
You can find the show on Twitter and on Instagram at Atomic Radio Hour. But if the fine folks at home want to follow you, my friend, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Declan_Bean. But yourself?
On Twitter, you can find me at all capitals _Boogans. If you're listening to us on YouTube, thank you. I love you. Please like and subscribe and comment and tell us things.
All those relevant things.
If you're listening on a streaming platform, thank you. I love you. Comment, like, rate, subscribe, make a response video. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Castbox, and Radio Public.
And a whole
But if
bunch
you
more.
we've gone over it. There's would you say somewhere between 6 and 40?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
If you'd like to talk to us, like, nicely, I don't fucking know. I had a weird day. You can you can find us on Discord. There'll be a link in the description below to our Discord. We also have a Twitch, which is just twitch.com.tv/Atomic Radio Hour. It's there. I don't know when we're going to use it, but it's there. So it's not
Another
gonna
thing
hurt you.
that's there is our Patreon.
Yes.
If you want to show your support for the show, I mean, that's great. Thank you for your generosity.
I love you.
We'll always have Atomic Radio Hour available for free, but if you want to
For
help
free.
us make the show even better, you can find that link in the description. We have some very special people that we want to talk about.
Can I count them off this week?
You can count them off this week if you want. Shoot.
And in the blue corner, our Patreon patrons are Michael Mello, The Friendly Companion Cube, Noah, and TKS Mantis. If, like Declan said, you want to see the show become bigger and better, you can go ahead and donate. You can give $1. I would love for that to happen because it means the show gets bigger and better, but the show will always be free. I'm not telling you have to do this. It's not behind a paywall. The show's going to be free, and I love it. And I love you, Declan.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Psych. Oh, shit, I got him.
Oh, he got me.
I got him. I got him after he said publicly that I did not steal the cookie from the cookie jar.
I didn't say any such thing.
You texted it to me.
I did not.
It's in 2 episodes ago. Don't fucking lie to me.
Oh, I did not. You are an absolute liar.
How am I a liar?
This is slander.
This is not slander.
This is slander because you're only trying to cover up the fact that you are the one that stole the cookie from the cookie jar.
I did not steal the cookies from the cookie jar. I don't know how many times we got to go over this.
Oh, we gotta go over this. We gotta go over this even after we listen to our content for the week.
Yeah, sure, fine. But how come we're not even bringing Kyle up in this? How do we know Kyle didn't do it? Kyle's always real fucking quiet when we talk about the cookies from the cookie jar. Is he not?
I don't know. He's very photogenic. See you later, everybody.
Bye, enjoy whatever shit I wrote or whatever.
Bye!
See you later, bye! Personal log of Detective Dixon number 47. Took a walk and went past the lamplight. Now I know that's a ways away from the office, but I need to clear my mind and just started a mosey. Saw some kids outside the gate drinking hard liquor and smoking a couple gray tortoises. Kids younger than Alec. I let my curiosity get the better of me, and I asked one of the kids what was his troubles. He said that his special lady has left him for a kid with a killer lisp. That's just the folly of youth, I guess.
Atomic Radio Hour Podcast.